should know all my KPIs, but probably at least like 5 to 10%, which is good because 2023 had a dip due to all the international travel opening up. We even saw it in Seattle and like cruise ships and everything. There were fewer international travelers, but this year it's picking back up.
I'm ready. Sorry about that.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about, we'll start here because we're here in the hospital. So let's just talk a little bit about your physical therapy. What have you been doing since you've gotten here? I know you got here, was it yesterday?
Monday night I was admitted. And so yesterday was my first day of therapy appointments. My first one was occupational therapy, and I got to have a shower for the first time. It's kind of like emotionally cleansing. It was the first time in like a week and 2 days, so that was so wonderful to have the water on me. And then physical therapy appointment, I got to walk 10 feet using my walker. It was exhausting, but it was good. They also had me go practice getting in and out of the car. That one was a little harder mentally. I kind of panicked because I wanted to put my seatbelt on really fast, and then I started hyperventilating a little bit, but the physical therapist, John, was so like soothing and helped me calm down and distracted me. And then I was able to get out of the car. So those were like my big wins yesterday. And then today I've had, I got to do a mini tour of like the walking garden, I think it's called, downstairs. And then been practicing getting up and down out of the bed, walking different places, maneuvering. So that's been a lot of the occupational therapy today. And I'm sure there'll be much more to learn ongoing. But the goal is to get me to be as independent as possible when I get home.
And so let's talk a little bit about your injuries as far as what they needed to work on as far as the physical therapy. Sorry, let me turn that off. What injuries... One second. Try that again. There we go. Sorry. What injuries do you have that they're working on to help you heal from?
So I have a fractured C2, which is known as a hangman's neck. So I will have to wear this brace for, I think, about 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. I have a fractured, I can't remember the exact names of it, but TNL, so definitely lumbar and transverse something. So I have to wear this TNL brace anytime I'm out of the bed. I have a fractured rib on the left-hand side, and then a fractured tibia and fibula on the right-hand side. And so that was the only surgery that I had on my body. Everything else is just going to work on healing itself. And then a couple of abrasion on my left leg and then on my wrist or arm there. And then just like the mental trauma.
I was going to ask about that because you're healing, and it's good that you only had that one surgery on your leg,
Yeah.
And that you didn't need surgery for the other injuries. But how are you doing just emotionally from all this?
I am so grateful to be alive. The officer said that's handling the case. He said that nobody should have lived. So the gift of being alive I'm so grateful for that. I didn't think I was going to have issues getting into a car until yesterday during the practice of it, so I'll probably have to do some processing on it. But really, I'm just so grateful for being able to breathe and be able to recover, and I'm so grateful for all the love and support that I've received from my network of like family, friends, loved ones, people I work with, people I've just started working with. It's just been amazing to feel like all that aloha.
I was going to say, where Lindsay was telling me that you had come out here to help being a caregiver.
Yeah.
And now you're ending up needing, or people are caregiving for you. Tell me a little bit about why you even came out here in the first place.
So I have family here. They live all all over Oahu, but I came out here to help my cousin with her dad, my uncle. He has dementia. And so the goal was to be able to take things off of her plate for 7 days, like just help prepare breakfast or meals, clean the house, tend to her garden, shop for her, whatever she needed. That was the goal. So I was able to do that for the first 4 days. So I was just supposed to be here from July 10th through the 17th, and the 14th is when the accident happened.
And I was told you were just taking a little break from that caregiving and went up to the North Shore?
Yeah, my only vacation thing I wanted was to dip my body into the ocean, because being, I was born here and had lived here for a couple of years, but had essentially raised on the mainland. I felt the islands calling, and so I just wanted to submerge my whole body into the ocean. And so I got to do that, and then I was on my way home or back to my cousin's house to, help her again. On the way there, I was able to shop for some gifts for loved ones back home. I got myself some shave ice. And then on the way home, the accident happened.
What do you remember from the accident?
I remember driving, just getting out of the rotary. I forget what the name of the road is, but I just got out of the rotary, and I remember seeing this erratic driver going north, and I saw their driver tires go up, and they were driving really fast. I don't think they were going any slower than 60. And so then I saw them coming towards my lane, and so I was trying to go right on the right side of the road to try to avoid them, but I guess, anyway, it was a head-on. And so I don't remember the collision, but that's all I remember is the right before the collision. And then I woke up, and all these wonderful citizens were checking on me, asking if I was okay, reminding me not to move. They were so wonderful.
So that was so from there, obviously they took you to the hospital because you were in the hospital for about a week after
Yes.
that? And so just tell me a little bit about the process that you've gone through as far as going from head-on collision, near-death experience, so to speak, to where you are now.
I guess I might need a little bit more clarification on.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, they took you to the hospital and they
Okay.
told you what was going on.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts of what were you thinking, what was going through your mind?
From the accident, I remember being a little panicked with the sound of the jaws of life, but everybody was really reassuring that it wasn't gonna harm me. And then I remember thinking I was really scared about the transfer from my car to the gurney to the ambulance. And I was trying to make sure people were notified. My partner, my parents, those were the two main people, and my cousin. And so I just remember holding the person in the ambulance, his name was Gavin, holding his hand because I was scared. And then getting to the hospital. From there, it was just a lot, everything all at once was happening. I mean, they did all the tests the first night. So it was exhausting. It was painful. It was, I think those are the two main things, is exhaustion and painful. And then once I was able to actually be in a hospital bed, it was relief because I've been on all these hard surfaces all day. And it was so nice to be on a softer surface. And I remember my cousin arriving to the hospital, and I just apologized because I felt so bad that the accident had happened because I was there to help her. And she was so kind and loving and sweet. And she just said that it's okay and I'm okay, I'm alive. So having her there as a source of comfort was instrumental. She's been wonderful.
And you were saying that there's been, maybe you could just tell me a little bit about that outpouring of support from all over, I guess.
So I called my best friend, Lindsay, the day of my surgery for my fibula and tibia, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen, so I just wanted her to know what my wishes were and where Aiden was, just because she's so good at organizing everything. And then from there, she and some of my other friends they set up a GoFundMe page for me, which I didn't even expect. And that, like, they set up a goal of 16,000, and that surpassed within 9 hours. And then it moved it to 25, and that surpassed. And then they moved it to 50. So we're at the 30K mark, I think. So, and over 250 donors. So I'm like, I have that many people in my life that support me. That's like amazing. And so one of my friends even emailed me saying she didn't know how much our friendship meant to her until now. I mean, she knew, but and then she gets the duty of helping me write thank you notes. And she's like, are you, like, how amazing is it that, like, all of these people care about you and love you? And I said, well, I think I love and care about just about that many. So I'm so thankful it's reciprocated.
Lindsay was saying that GoFundMe is necessary. She was
Yeah.
saying something about your insurance.
Oh, our organization is small and has a like limited budget, so I was putting off my insurance until 2025 because I was, like fairly healthy and active, and so I was like, I'll be fine, I can wait. But with the hospital bill, that one I can at least go on payment plans. But because this is like such instrumental care here at the rehab center, it's essential that they, receive funds up front, and I understand why. So I think we're about like, in total, I need 40K to be able to cover the care here, the amazing care that I've gotten so far. Plus then another, I don't know how much a first class ticket is right now, but so that I can be as comfortable as possible to fly back with my partner. And then being able to purchase some medical equipment for when I get home. So the costs are going to be a lot, like hundreds of thousands after this. So we're working towards my board of directors are working to make sure we can get me set up on insurance, because they're like, we will make it happen with the budget. And then working with my partner and people at home to find medical equipment, just figuring out like all the costs that are going to be associated with it.
You mentioned going home. What's the goal? When would you like to do that?
So they're estimating that I can head home August 3rd, I believe. It's that first Saturday of August. So be able to fly home by then.
Okay. That's only in about, what is today?
Just a little over a week. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you all right now for interview wise? Are you comfortable still?
Yeah, I'm still comfortable.
You all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might just dab my eyes.
Sure.
I'll just be lazy and do it all. Okay.
I think Lindsay sent me some pictures of you. I think even a picture of you and your son.
Oh.
So I just wanted to ask about him, if you
Yeah.
don't mind, because you do have a son, a teenager,
Mhm.
and so he came out because he was concerned
Yeah.
about you. What did you tell him once he got here, or what did you tell him about what you went through?
So the hardest thing I think I've ever had to do was call him and let him know what happened. Because he was with his best friend. He takes an annual trip to visit him. And I had called his best friend's mom first to just make sure he was awake and to be there to support him if he needed it. And telling him that what happened was hard, that I was in a car accident and that I was going to need surgery. And because I haven't updated his will since he was like 5 years old, I had to check in with him again to see, who do you want to go to if my surgery doesn't go well. And so that was his Auntie Lindsay and Uncle Doug and his two little cousins. And then I asked him how he was feeling, and he was like, I'm a little sad. And I said, it is your choice if you want to come out here. I don't want you to feel like you have to. But if you want to, you're more than welcome to come out here. Because my dad had been in and out of the hospital while I was growing up. He had heart problems, and I always felt more at peace when I could see him and be with him. And so I had explained that to him. So he came out and flew, and he's been here with me since the day after my surgery, so last Tuesday. And then he flies back home this Saturday.
Okay. And then I know you've had time to process everything that you're going through, and
Yeah.
I know that you're probably looking forward to getting home once you get through all of the
Yeah.
painful physical therapy and everything that you have to go through here.
Mm-hmm.
Have you just your thoughts on have you given thoughts to the other driver that caused all of this?
Oh, yeah. I feel sad that he probably lost his friend. I don't know what their connection was, but I'm sure he's sad about that and probably has like deep regret and remorse. Outside of that, I've thought about it because the police officer asked if I wanted to press any criminal charges, and my thought process around that is I want him to feel accountability, to take ownership, and I want to understand what steps he'll take to not do this ever again. Like, the officer said that they were most likely joyriding because they didn't find any evidence of substances and just lost control. And so it's like there are places designated for joyriding and there are places that are not. So what are the steps that he'll take so that he doesn't ever do this again? Because as we know, like, every action has a reaction. There's a cause and effect. So it's important that he takes ownership and makes sure that he never does this again, because it impacts people's lives, his, people around him, and the people that he has literally impacted with a car.
I was going to say that's he was, I think he was 20, 21 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, fairly young guy as well. And I know you said
Yeah.
your son is about 15.
Yeah.
So, and not too much older as a young adult there. A very thoughtful, reflective answer was what you gave me. I don't sense anger at him for his stupidity of doing something like that and causing you so much pain.
No, there's no point in that for me right now. I just want him to take accountability and really, really, like, what will you do to make sure you never do this again?
What would you mentioned people coming out to help after the accident. You mentioned outpouring of support. What would you like to say to people that have either been following you or interacted with you throughout this whole process? Trying to help after the accident, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It's a really good question. That's a little hard to answer. Can you say it one more time?
Sure. Just if there's some, I don't know if you wanted to express any gratitude toward them or just your thoughts of them
okay. I'm so thankful for being alive. I'm so thankful, beyond thankful. Like, if there's a new word that's invented for beyond thankful, I want to know what it is. For all of the support and love, messages, phone calls, gifts, like receiving flowers and snack packs. Just thank you so much for all that you've done so far. And I'm looking forward to being at home where I have a bigger support network, but the network that I've had here with my medical team at the hospital at Queens, and then the care team here at the Rehab of the Pacific. I'm so thankful to have it because it's putting me towards a positive path of recovery, so I can hopefully walk unassisted by Christmas. That's my goal.
All right. That means another week of intense physical therapy, and then you'll have to do all this on your own when you get home.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
Okay. Anything else that I didn't ask you that you just want folks to know about what you're going through, or this journey that you're on, journey of recovery?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I just noticed your socks. I like them.
Thanks. All right, that should do it.
Just get a
Okay,
wider
thanks,
shot of
Paul.
you guys.
Yeah, he's just gonna get a shot of us talking.
Boy,
a
that
little
was a
bit more.
5-minute
Okay.
interview. That was like 25 minutes. Okay,
Can I get a photo of us
Sure.
so I can send it to Lindsay?
Sure.
She'll.
let me get it.
Well, Bob, take that after we're done here.
Okay.
And so, do you have more physical therapy today?
Yeah, I have 2 more appointments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.